Hi, my name is Richard Sévère. I'm an associate professor of English at Valparaiso University. Today, I'm going to talk about utilizing hip hop as a way of teaching a specific story within the Arthurian cycle, the Quest of the Holy Grail. I specifically use the Grail section in Mallory's Mort d'Arthur, but individuals can also utilize the early 13th century French translation, The Quest of the Holy Grail. Either of these literary versions can be paired with Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake's Grammy Award-winning song and music video, Holy Grail, which was released in 2013. Or the stories can be paired with Kid Ink's song, also titled Holy Grail, which was released in 2020. By reading the medieval Grail quest story alongside these hip-hop lyrics, readers will have yet another medium through which to understand and interpret the Mort. And more importantly, these pairings will allow students to recognize how medieval meets modern. When teaching the Grail, I like to start the conversation with a bit of historical background. I let students know that the Holy Grail has its roots in medieval literature and not from Indiana Jones, the Monty Python story, or the iced out chalices that hip hop artists were known to carry around with them. In fact, there's no one explanation for what truly constitutes the Holy Grail. We know that the Grail was first introduced in Chrétien de Troyes' 12th century poem, Perceval, the Story of the Grail. Since then, some say the Grail is a dish in which Jesus' blood was collected, a cup from which Jesus drank during the Last Supper, or even a stone. Ultimately, the Grail is every bit of a mystery today as it was when it was first introduced in the early 12th century. Nonetheless, in Mallory and his source text before him, the quest for the Grail is especially symbolic because individuals who are successful in seeing the Grail are considered to be the best knights among the Arthurian community. Ultimately, these knights who go on the Grail quest are taking the quest of all quests. Now, the phrase, the Holy Grail of something, in modern context, refers to the pursuit of a highly desired object, and in most circumstances, also means reaching insurmountable heights that are often not possible by the average person. Students will better recognize this adage because it is so often utilized to describe something of great value or importance. Once I have made that connection, I point out that, like the medieval quest for the Grail, the lyrical content of many hip-hop artists focuses on the obstacles of achieving specific life goals that are oftentimes unattainable by the average person. So I show this evidence by first looking at the lyrics of Jay-Z and featuring Justin Timberlake. Now, Timberlake personifies fame and speaks of it in unflattering terms, despite being very strangely attracted to it. Specifically, Timberlake laments the idea of having fame air his laundry, dirty or clean, which serves as a metaphor for the ways in which his personal and private business is made public. This also shows that and suggests that when pursuing fame, one's private life is no longer one's own. Yet, despite this relinquishment of privacy, the song's lyrics point out, quote, "I still don't know why I love it so much," end quote. We can similarly see how Lancelot's quest to seek the Grail, which is certainly associated with fame, is cause for his own laundry, mainly dirty, to be aired within the chivalric community. On several occasions, readers are reminded that Lancelot will never be able to gain access to the Grail or reach the level of fame that he seeks because of his past indiscretions with the queen. One squire in particular says of Lancelot that he lingers in some deadly sin of which he never confessed. Readers, by this point in the narrative, know of this sin, which is, that Lancelot has been sleeping with King Arthur's wife, Guinevere. And apparently, so do others in the Arthurian community know that this is happening. In the first verse we examined, Timberlake speaks of the love-hate relationship that the two artists, he and Jay-Z, have with fame. Specifically, Timberlake laments his journey, his Grail quest, as one of uncertainty and disillusionment that oftentimes leads to disappointment. Yet despite this disappointment, in this refrain, Timberlake again points out, "I still don't know why I love it so much." Timberlake is obviously enamored with the concept of seeking fame and will do so in spite of the damages or consequences. Though Lancelot was warned that his previous sin will hinder his ability to see the Grail, he continues on the quest in this pursuit of this ultimate fame, only to be denied once again. In recognizing this failure, Lancelot notes, "And now I take upon me the adventures to seek holy things. Now I see and understand that my old sin hinders and shames me, that I had no power to move or speak when the holy blood appeared before me." Ultimately, in yet another public manner, Lancelot does not succeed, and the matters of his private life are made public. In the current landscape where so many individuals seek to become social media influencers or public figures by inviting the world into their private lives, younger audiences will certainly be able to recognize and offer insight pertaining to this metaphorical quest and its connection to their own social context. In speaking of Lancelot's apparent failure to see the Grail, students will likely recognize that the criteria for what it means to be the best knight has been amended to fit the spiritual context of the Grail quest. Thus, those leading this discussion should remind readers of the literary and social significance of the quest and its complexity within the Arthurian community. Lancelot, like Timberlake, continues to pursue fame despite the consequences, thus demonstrating that he has no intentions of abandoning his search for the Grail because of what it means for his reputation. Through this comparison, readers can comment on the similarities between the medieval knight Lancelot and Justin Timberlake, who both appear to love fame despite of its fickleness and its effect on their personal lives and reputation. And though he does not fully achieve his goal, Lancelot appears relatively content, perhaps recognizing and accepting, as Timberlake lays out in his song, that fame is sometimes cruel and leads to unwanted exposure and vulnerability. Lancelot's claim that "I have seen great marvels that no tongue may tell, and more than any heart can think. And had not it been for my previous sin, I would see so much more." This allows readers to see that when it comes to fame, it appears that it is more about the journey and not necessarily the destination. If you are interested in more ways to connect Mallory's Grail quest with hip hop, I encourage you to check out my chapter in the forthcoming Approaches to Teaching the Arthurian Tradition from the MLA. Thank you for tuning in.